Salam, guys. Welcome to this will be our second episode of Ummah Unplugged podcast, where we talk to leaders in the community about how they're pushing the Ummah forward. And today, we have Brother Muhsin Cason, aka the Muslim Boxer.
Assalamu
alaikum.
What's going on?
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
You're our first guest.
I'm the first guest?
Technically. Of the real podcast.
Okay. I thought Hassan was the first guest.
So I'll give the brief background.
Yeah, Me
and Hassan were at Invest Fest.
Okay.
For Earn Your Leisure. We were in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. It was so inspirational, life-changing. We were there totally separately. And it was like, we was inspired.
Gotcha. That's how okay.
So it was like, after we came back, it was like, let's make moves.
Okay.
So I'm starting Ummah Unplugged podcast. Mm-hmm. He's starting Philly P podcast.
I like it.
So we were like, let's do a recap, what we learned, where we going moving forward. But you're the first guest of the Ummah Unplugged podcast. So
I appreciate it.
The champ himself.
Alhamdulillah. One day, I'm not the champ yet, but one day I'm gonna be the champ. I'm trying to, actually September 24th, I'm fighting for a USBU title. So that's on the Shabazz card. So
go September 24th in Baltimore.
Yep, Patapsco Arena.
Get your tickets. You're not gonna want to miss it. What's the record?
10-0.
10-0. We going 11-0.
KOs. Yes, inshallah. We going
inshallah.
11-0. Trying to. Yeah, it's been tough.
So what's training for a fight like? Cause the last fight was
hell. No,
a couple months. So it's like how much time do you have in between fights?
So sometimes I have it just depends, but sometimes I have like 4 months. To really, work on my craft and kind of get better at what I did wrong in the last fight.
Okay.
But for the most part, training camp really just looks like, putting my body through hell, putting my body through, limits where I haven't gone before, and, focusing on my craft, getting my mindset better, making sure that, I'm just in shape, endurance, things like that. And of course, I thought from the most important aspect is keeping my Islam right, in order to make sure that I'm at peace.
Because mindset is everything.
Mindset is everything. It don't matter how much skill you got. It don't matter how much, what you can do in the ring. If your mind ain't there, you're not going to be there.
No.
Yeah.
Well, this is a little different, but it's body related. Mm. In having kids, my doctor told me this is 90% mental.
Yep.
Your body does everything. Your body's capable of so much. But your mind has to.
Y'all strong. Shout out to y'all. I don't know how.
That's a fight.
I'd have quit. I'd have quit. Lulu came out sunny side up, so I'd have quit. Ooh. And Miriam only had Sora Miriam and coconut water. No medicine, no nothing.
Yeah, I went no meds too.
I would quit.
You want to, but it's once you realize it's mental, and once you realize that I could get past this and I could get through anything Allah got me, He wouldn't have put me in this position if I couldn't get through it.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And whatever test happens, but I'm going to make sure I put my best foot forward, in order to make sure that, I can always look back and say, man, I really put on that show.
Right.
So regardless of, inshallah, I don't lose. But if I do lose, it's all up to Allah. So that's really the mindset that you have to have. And, I won't even compare boxing to pregnancy, because that is that's way above. At least I can quit. At least I can say, you know what, I just give up. Even if you quit, you still gotta, you can't quit. Y'all gotta really go through it. So, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Shout out to Miriam and Lulu.
Shout out to all the women who have babies.
And all the ummies.
Yeah, all the ummies, because y'all go through it. So. How
did you get started in boxing? Because I know your brother boxed too, right?
Yeah. So my brother boxed. My brother is Hassan Rahman. He was the former heavyweight champion. He boxed when I was a kid.
Okay. What's your age difference?
20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a big age difference. He has a son older than me, 2 years older than me.
First off, you have, I saw like a reel or TikTok your sister did, and I was just like, good. Shout out to Muslim families.
Long video. 16 brothers and sisters.
I was like, what
The
a range.
oldest is 49, the youngest is 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
So he has 40 years on one of his brothers. Crazy.
Whoa.
It's nuts. So, alhamdulillah. But I got into boxing kind of on mistake because I really didn't want to box. I thought I wanted to box. I was really just using it as an excuse to get out of a situation I was in Boston. Okay. And yeah, I was just like, all right, cool. I'm going to go to Vegas and act like I'm going to box because I like being in shape. Mm-hmm. So that's no problem. But I'm going to act like I want to box. And then once I really get to a point where I can just really take care of myself and be on my own, I'm going to just leave and quit boxing. But I fell in love with it. I was 21 years old. So I fell in love with it.
So you totally started at 21?
Started.
Which is late for...
Very late.
Yeah.
Very late. So I started actually at the YMCA in Philly.
Really?
That's the first place I took my step. I don't even know where it was. It was, I know I went to Nazim Richardson's gym. Okay. And after that, I went and learned at a YMCA. Like I went and learned like some steps. And after that, my brother was like, well, you got the technique, so let's try it.
So you moved to Vegas to start
boxing. Really start my life over, but yeah, start boxing.
And one thing that a lot of people don't talk about, but when you start moving around, especially when you young and you like could just live life and do things, mm-hmm. you just get all these new perspectives on life. And you moving out of because you're from Baltimore, mm-hmm. moving out of your hometown, and Baltimore's similar to Philly in that a lot of people feel stuck there. Yes. Moving out of your hometown when you're young and you just see there's so much more to the world. You see there's so much more to people and opportunities out there. Yeah. So Vegas is a big city, America's playground and all this.
Well, I've been to Saudi and I've been to Tanzania. So that was
prior to that.
So when I was a kid, I've been to Saudi 3 times. Okay. And then I've been to Tanzania once, and so my father had me traveling a lot. So as far as perspective, yeah, it was different. But yes, moving out on your own, right? Definitely a different ball game.
So when you started in Vegas, you just start fight by fight.
It was for
training, and then
for 2 years. I didn't fight anybody. So for 2 years, I just learned how to. I wasn't even allowed to get in the ring. I was just learning how to box. I had the jab. My brother would put me in there with like world champions such as like Caleb Plant, Badu Jack, David Benavidez, J. Leon Love. Shout out to my brother. But I just had to learn. It was a very fast learning pace, and I just had to pick it up. Okay. And I got my butt whooped for a long time. For like 2.5 years, I got my butt whooped. I wanted to quit.
What made you not quit?
I said I never accomplished anything in my life, and I gotta stick with this. I never stuck to anything in my life.
I would disagree, because you're also a Hafidh.
Yeah, but I didn't stick to it. That's the problem.
Okay.
For a long time, I gave up Quran, period. And I talk about it a lot because I like to tell the youth, it's going to come back on you when you get older. Mm-hmm. But for a long time, I kind of just neglected the Quran. So that's why I say I gave up on the Quran. So that's why I say I never really.
Because you didn't, you memorized, but didn't.
I memorized it. The crazy thing is, for a 1.5 years after I memorized, I was leading Tarawih. I was, teaching Quran at places. But as I got older, I think around like 17, 17 or 18, I quit. I stopped reading. I stopped doing everything. And subhanAllah, that's one thing that actually brought me back to Islam, because I kept saying boxing is the only thing I never gave up on. Like I'm still in it.
You're still in it years later.
7 years later.
7 years later.
Yep. So.
Yeah, and it's deep because one thing, and this is a lot of conversations I have with people who are quote unquote successful in their field or in what they do, is people see what's happening now.
Yep.
People see the 10-0. People see the screams in the crowd. People see all that, but you got socked in your face
all the time,
and had to do it.
I also couldn't bite a sandwich.
Those the things
that hurts.
It'll be like the things like the overnight success.
It's no such thing.
Years.
It's no such thing. Even this right here, like this whole Ummah shop being in King of Prussia, this is a prominent mall, but it's not overnight success. You ain't just get it.
This idea for the store happened 2016.
See?
In 2016, I had the need. I had the need for it, and it was like, well, if I have the need for other people,
everybody
like,
has.
Why doesn't it exist? And why? And from 2016 to 2021, it was baby steps.
That's it.
You get up, get knocked back down. It's like, oh, I want to do this. How do I do this? You slack on it, you stop it, you focus on other things, and then at some point, I had this. Somebody told me that if you have something in your head that's recurring and you're kind of being pushed to do something, it's like Allah talking to you and telling you, I'm putting this in front of you. This is what you need to be doing, and just go
and do it. And the crazy thing is, this is not just it. This is not your end. This is like the beginning. Like it's so many more things that you want to do and accomplish, but people just see, like you said, people see this. You know, they know you're in the mall. You know, you know a lot of people, so they see the success. But you know, you like you say, you just getting started. Same thing with me. I'm just getting started.
Did you ever think that even in boxing, starting out, getting your first couple fights, being in Vegas, that this, because even it leads you to now you're somebody in the Ummah who kids look up to, you're an influencer, people, it almost bridges the boxing, like the career of boxing with your dean.
Yep.
And who you are.
I'd have never thought that.
See?
I'd have never thought. I didn't even know. I didn't even think about being. I think I had like 900 followers on Instagram. I wasn't caring what was going on. I was just, you know.
And that's just your personal page. You just live it like.
It's your personal page. It's, you know, usually not many people know over like 900 people. Understandable. The majority of people, yeah, you got 1,200 followers, something like that. Because those are the people that you know. You know? You're looking at close friends. You're looking at people being successful.
Right.
And it wasn't until I met KSI, I went in camp with him. My manager actually got me in camp with him. And I found out he was making over $1 million for his first fight.
And you said, how?
I made $500 for my first fight. I made $500 Canadian money. I made $367 American money. And that went straight to bills.
Right. that was just
so
like.
I really made no money.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, this dude's making over $1 million. I'm like, how? I look at his Instagram. This man got, you know, I think he had 1 million followers, just over 1 million followers at that time. He had over 10 million followers on social media. I mean, on YouTube and stuff. And I was like, I gotta do it. This dude. I got it.
Because that's where the money. Because y'all both are fighting, but.
I'm like, I'm a good fighter though. I'm like, not saying KSI is not a good fighter, but I'm like, I'm actually like, I do this for a living. This dude is just having fun.
Right.
And making millions. I'm like, man, I gotta do what he does. Cause I can get to that platform. So I just started there. I started there with my first video. My first.
What was your first video? I think I've seen it.
The Iman video.
Okay.
It was.
That video was funny.
Salaam alaikum. It was when Reverend like Jackson turns into Imam Saifuddin. That was my first video. So when I did that video, it was like on and off. I was like, I would do that video, and then like a month later, maybe I would do another video.
Because when you did the first video, and what year was this? Like around what time? Or how far were you into boxing? Or
2019.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that was.
No, I'm sorry. It's 2019. Yeah, it was early 20. Whenever Logan Paul fought KSI the second time. I don't know when that was. Was it 2019?
I mean, I watch boxing, but
yeah, I don't know when it was, but it was I think it was 2019. But yeah, I've only been doing this for a little bit.
Yeah, and so you said I'm gonna be an influencer, or it's like I need to start getting paid from brands?
No, I need to be known so that way I can be known in boxing.
Okay.
So because I know if I'm known on social media, I can put butts in seats in boxing.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to be able to say, I want this amount of money for this fight.
Right.
And in order for me to do that, they need to know that I have a following behind me.
And you immediately went to, I'm Muslim. And I'm a boxer.
Yep. Because it's like so I'm studying these people, and I'm like, all right, this dude got this page, okay, King Batch, these guys like this, they got the black comedy,
right?
They got the black / quirky like white comedy where they can hang out with white people, but right. I'm like, nobody got no Muslim comedy, and nobody can do that like a Muslim, and then on top of that, a black Muslim. I was like, I said nobody does black Muslim stuff. So I was like, all right.
The group of people are so small.
We are small. You got me, Moses, you got.
And Moses, he always said, he's like, there's 4 black international Muslim comedians.
Omar Reagan.
It's Moses the Comic, Omar Reagan, Preacher Moss, Aziz Muhammad. That's it.
And I didn't meet them until now.
Assalamualaikum. Welcome to the Ummah Shop, the first curated department store for Muslim-owned brands. We've carried over 150 Muslim-owned brands since opening in April 2021, and we're located in the King of Prussia Mall, and you can shop online at www.theummahshop.com. You'll find clothes for men, women, kids, books, wellness products, accessories, hijabs, everything that you could think of, catering to our Islamic lifestyle, we have. Come shop with us. I can't wait to see you at the Ummah Shop. Assalamu alaikum.
Till that comedy show. So you got a very small unit of people.
And this is for the country, for the world.
Right. But you have no black. And I had looked at it, and this is before I met Moses, this is before I knew about Aziz, this is before I knew about Preacher Moss. I saw nobody doing kind of like comedy influencer, comedy skits.
The skits.
Like Moses is a true comic. He's a comedian. Mm-hmm. He get on stage, shout out to them. But I'm talking about people who are, we doing the camera, we doing the skits, stuff like King Batch and all that.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody's doing this. I gotta be the first person. I gotta do this. So I just started making the videos, and a lot of them was trash for a long time.
It's not an overnight success.
Hey, a lot of them were trash. A lot of them were getting no hits. I was just like, yo.
So was the 900 friends? So were they like, what is Muhsin doing?
Thing is, so when KSI, I didn't start doing it until KSI shouted me out. When he shouted me out, I went from 900 to 4,000.
Okay.
So that's when they were like, all right, cool. So when I did it the first time, yeah, people were like, bro, what are you doing? Like, so, my mom and my close friends, really, actually, none of my close friends actually said, what am I doing? Because I'm not a different person on social media. I'm the same person.
This is you.
I'm the same person regardless if it's a camera on, if it's not a camera on. I've always been the same person. Goofy, I'm always playing around my big kid. So when it came to all right, I'm gonna just do this, my mom was like, this fits,
On brand.
This fits
On
you.
brand.
This is nothing new from what Muslim would do. I think I have a video that me and my friends did. It's the corniest video in the world, but we did like everybody wants kung fu fighting. We did like a martial arts like little movie. It's the corniest thing, but I'm like, yeah, we used to do that stuff all the time.
But it takes so much, and I even see this, being married to a comedian, that we always say like, you don't know what's gonna hit.
No, you don't.
It'd be like the stuff, you could have like a whole edited mini movie.
And it's trash.
And it'd be like, thanks.
Like, that was funny from your mom. You be like, yo, they call you like, oh my God, I saw you on. Nah, I don't want to listen to that. But
and then it'd be the video of you just like, a rant, and you just do something real quick, and it's viral.
Yup. So I started, when I moved to Philly in 2020. I said, maybe my videos aren't too funny. I said, but I'm going to post every day until I get to 10,000.
Okay. So, and you did, around the time when we met, when the store opened, you would do it. I was like, this guy
I was posting every day.
I was like, what does he have? Because I know how long it takes to, you film, you edit, you coming up with the concept, you got people in it, and I'm like, every day.
Every day. I literally said, I'm going to post every single day until I get known.
Sidebar, what brought you to Philly?
I was tired of being in Vegas and Lugo.
Okay.
So Miriam had a house here, and we were choosing to come back to the East Coast because we wanted to be closer to family. And we said, okay, I don't want to go back to Baltimore.
Right.
Then we were talking about Texas.
So it's a little closer, but it ain't.
Yeah, a little closer, but I'm like, all right, cool. But I'm like, we ain't got no family there.
Right.
So then we were like, all right, maybe Atlanta. Atlanta sounds good. Like,
yeah.
All right.
We lived in Atlanta. It was
good
great.
Muslim staple.
Yep.
So then we were like, well, as far as money, because we was broke at the time. Well, Marion wasn't broke. I was broke. And, me trying to make decisions.
Growing.
You know what I'm saying? I was broke. So me trying to make the decision to move somewhere with no money, it's like, yeah. So then Marion is like, well, I still got a house in Philadelphia. We can move there.
Okay.
And then just start. So I'm like, I don't want to move to Philly. I was not begging with Philly. Because Philly reminds me of Baltimore. It's a bigger Baltimore.
It's very, in my mind, the hierarchy of like things. It's like Baltimore, Philly, and then New York.
Yep, New York.
And none of them,
Detroit, something like that.
Low key, none of them feel, and I'm from Philly, none of them feel like enticing to move to.
No. They're just like, all right, yeah, it's cool to see, but then I'm out. And I was like, man, I'm not feeling. Then, our first house was in like semi-hood, gentrified, like it's halfway hood, halfway not.
Yeah.
So you still, and every day I was just like, yo, I gotta do something. Like, gotta do something to get out of here. So every day I just was.
So that's when you was like, we
gotta
do the skits and the.
I'm posting skits every day. I told my friend Adam, I was like, yo, I said when I get 10,000, I said I'm posting skits until I get to 10K. Every single day. And it could be 2-3 of them a day. I'm just gonna post.
You gotta go hard on it.
Yeah.
How long did it take to get there? Because you were doing it every day. This is pandemic. This is...
Well, I do got to give out a shout out to Muslim Poppy for... So when I got here, I contacted him and Hoop Finesse. I said, hey, can I do a skit with y'all? I'm a big fan. Can I do a skit with y'all? In order to like kind of get on the scene a little bit. And I think Muslim Poppy was the only one who was like, yo, that joint is funny. Yeah, let's do a skit.
All right. So
I did a skit with him. And then after that, I guess people started seeing me and him together. So they were like, oh, well, this dude must be from Philly or something like that too.
Yeah.
So I got to give a shout out to him too, because he was the one, he introduced me to Steven Jackson.
Oh, okay.
So I was just randomly in. I was randomly just with Muslim Poppy, and Stacks had called him and was like, "Yo, I'm in town. You know, come see me." He said, "I'm with my brother Muhsin. He a professional boxer." Stacks was like, "Yeah."
Was that the toy drive?
Yes. That was the toy
Okay.
drive.
Yep.
So he was like, "Yo," he said, "Yeah, you know, well, both of y'all can come up." So I'm like, I thought I was about to go home. I was like, "Yeah, I ain't gonna go into this. I ain't gonna go into this man's hotel. Like, he don't know me."
Right.
And then he a celebrity. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he don't.
And you don't know how people are.
Yeah, I'm like, and I ain't no starstruck dude.
Right.
So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go home. He like, nah, you can come up with me. So Muslim Poppy was like, yeah, we gonna go up. So we went up, you know, I shook his hand, yo, what's up, what's going on, how you feeling? And he was like, yo, y'all wanna drive with me to the tour drive? I was like, what? He was like, yeah, y'all wanna come with me to the tour drive? Just leave the car here.
That's dope.
And after that, you know, I met Tone Trump there. That was
Yeah. Cause it was shout out to Tone Trump.
yeah.
Shout out to
Tone Trump.
he
Yep.
jabbified.
I had made a joke about Tone right before that too. I made Haram Police and I made a joke about Tone.
Yes.
And Tone was like, "I'm gonna get you." He was like, "I'm gonna get you," and I do that. So when I got there, he was like, "Yeah, y'all think y'all funny," and yeah, so that's really, people started associating me with Tone Trump and then after that, you know, I got real close to Stacks, I got real close to Tone Trump, real close to me and Muslim Poppy, and you know, Tone was like an older brother mentor for me, and you know, he was definitely helping me out. He actually got me on an interview with the Atlanta Daily.
Okay.
Right after my fight. But he was pushing it, Muslim Poppy was pushing it, and Stacks was pushing it, and that really helped me build. And then another brother who really was helping me on my Quran side was Dr. Faraj.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
I had did some skits with him as well. You know, so it was a lot of black Muslim influences that really helped me out, and you know, to
And
help
that
me build up.
collaboration with other people helps.
Yeah, that
I even see that in the store where
Yeah.
you collaborate. You could go so much farther together that you can by yourself, and then you get the creativity from other people. You get to play off and these are all people who have influence and you know.
So you
have
just learn from
followers.
them. But I think you gotta be able to really, you know, humble yourself and say, you know what, I'm gonna learn from these guys because these guys know more than me.
Right.
You know, these guys got way more followers than me at the time. They had way more followers than me. So yeah, for Dr. Faraj still got more.
Yeah, he has a huge
I
following.
think he got like 7 times more than me, and then you know, so yeah, when it came to that, I was just learning. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna get this. But then it came natural to me because it was just life.
Because it just kind of got incorporated into your life.
Yep, and most of my skits are about things that happened to me.
Yeah.
That's it. It's literally, most of my skits are, okay, this happened today, I'm gonna make it funny.
Right.
That's it. Other than that, I don't really do no like planned skits. It's usually just, all right,
go.
It happened. So.
Because you're kind of like the living life, and then you're like, wait, stop, let's record.
Exactly.
Okay.
Most of my skits are, oh, wait, that was funny. Let's record that. Let's record that again. That's it.
So now, how many followers you have? Like,
I think I'm almost at, I'm at 40,000.
what's life like? We know boxing. You on the road with boxing and everything.
Yeah.
What's life like as the Muslim influencer?
It's nice because people like attention. I like attention, so it's nice. It's fun. You know, when you walk in places, especially in Philly and stuff like that, you're like, yo, that's what's about. Or Miriam will laugh. Miriam like, man, please don't pump this guy's head up too much.
That's so hard.
We'll be walking and somebody will beep the horn like, yo, the Muslim boxer, I'm a big fan. Or something like that. Or if we're really in like a Muslim environment, a lot of people will take pictures with me and you know, want my autograph or something like that. So alhamdulillah, it's really dope. I really
Do you feel
appreciate it.
like I guess, Well, you're just living your life.
But
do you feel any pressure to be, like, kids are looking at you, you have this platform. You haven't, like, any pressure to be like, okay, I gotta show this kind of content, or I gotta.
Nope. I'm just me.
Life.
I'm just me. Because the same way, so I always thought I'm going to be unapologetically me.
Right.
Same way I'm gonna listen to music, and the same way I might curse sometimes, or I might do something. I'm unapologetically me, because having a kid, your kid gonna see you for who you really are.
In your best, worst.
You feel me? They're not gonna see the Muslim box. Lulu doesn't know who the Muslim box is. She know who daddy is.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what I do. If I go in the house and I'm a completely different person, it's fake. So as far as like, it's really no pressure, alhamdulillah, because I didn't portray myself to be anybody who I'm not.
Right.
Like, even with the Quran and how I messed up and things, I even go on podcasts and do the same thing. I always try to just be honest, because I feel like, it's a lot of black kids out here who really can't relate to people. If I just say I'm a Hafidh, I'm a boxer, and I'm an influencer, how many black kids can relate to me?
Right.
But if I say, I grew up like this, I was on the Quran, but then I started just going off the handle, and I started doing this, and I ain't perfect, but I'm trying to get there.
Right.
Now it's like, or when I was broke at the time, so, now there are kids who can relate to me, and they can just say, man, I feel like that. I used to feel like that.
Right.
So I feel like, it's really no pressure, because I feel like my flaws are what helps me relate to most people.
Hey guys, it's Sharima, founder and CEO of the Ummah Shop. We are a curated department store for Muslim-owned brands, and we're located in our King of Prussia Mall location. It's taken me 6 years to open up my first retail store. 6 years of research, of working on it myself, of trying to figure out how I can make this work, and I want to teach it to you. So I wrote an ebook. Click the link somewhere down here, and you'll have access to everything that I've done from beginning to end. How I launched, how I found a location, marketing, how to find funding for your first retail store. You can learn about it right here, and I'm so excited to teach you about it. Which is the authenticity of humanity. Exactly. We're all flawed.
Perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
But the problem is, most of these people don't show that. They don't show that they're not perfect. They be like, yo, no, y'all perfect. Man, I remember one time this brother was like, yo, I want to be like you and your wife. I said, no, you don't.
You don't know us.
I said,
yo. You don't know us.
I said, no, you don't. He was like, nah, man. He said, y'all so perfect. He was like, I see the picture. I said, me and my wife, I just asked Miriam. I was like, I wanted to leave Miriam the other day, because we got into a fight. Like, that's life. Like,
and that's the stuff that, especially when you think about the youth.
Yep.
I guess we old enough to call the youth. But the teenagers, the 19, 20, 21-year-olds.
Yep.
The ones who see the Instagram, see what's going on. It's just like, oh, y'all so cute. Oh, the cute
see that
family.
perfect life.
It looks
they
great.
See perfection.
They see perfection. And even when you show reality, they still see perfection, because they're just like, oh, but you're married.
I told the brother, the brother was like, oh, this man I think I had 20,000 followers at the time. Broke. He said, I was going off of, Instagram post reels, getting money from that, and then of course my boxing. But I wasn't fighting like that. I fought twice that year that I fought in Philly. The first time I fought twice that year. I wasn't making no money like that. And the brother was like, yo, you rich, because, I'm around some celebrities. I was like, brother, I work for Uber. He was like, no, you don't. I was like, I'm telling you the truth, and you still not gonna believe it. I do Uber, And I also do DoorDash. Like, this is what I do. Like, how you think I'm able to have time? Because I just picked the jobs. I said, I worked for FedEx for like 2 days. But I'm like, 2 days. But I'm like, for the most part, I said, this is what I do. I said, I got hustle. I said, this crap don't come overnight.
At all.
I say, and even if it looks like I'm rich, it don't. I'm not rich yet.
And that's the perception. The perception is you've made it.
Yeah, because people will equate, that social platform to money.
And it's not it.
That ain't it. Like we, still, alhamdulillah, we are good now. Like we have 2 properties now, and live in the suburbs, and able to get Lulu to. But that's more Mariam's part than my part. I probably wouldn't be able to do a lot of that if it wasn't for Mariam.
And that's what a lot of people don't see, especially being married. A lot of people don't see the teamwork that it takes to make.
Yeah, people be like, yeah, your wife just probably sitting in the house. Like, my wife pays the bills. Well,
she's a boss.
She's a boss. Well, I mean, there have been some months, man. There have been some months where I had no money, and Mariam had to front the entire mortgage, both mortgages, like there have been times, and I couldn't do nothing about it because I can't go really get a 9-to-5 because I might go get called from Jake Paul or something like that, and then the money comes in. But there was 2 months where I had no. I'm talking about
just
when I
bare
tell
bones.
You bare bone. My bank accounts kept looking at me like this. Every time I checked it, like
man,
you know. You know dang well you.
You know how we looking over here.
Like, why you even looking like, don't look in here. Don't look in here.
I ain't got nothing for you.
For 2 months, I was.
But that's that's the teamwork, and she believe in you.
Yep, she believes in me. And she sees how hard I'm working. She sees what I'm doing. She sees that it's not that I'm a loser and I'm just sitting on the couch just doing nothing. No, I'm actually busting my tail, still going to the gym every single day. I just haven't, it's just not my time yet. And that's Allah's decree. That's the call of Allah. And once you accept that, that's why that goes back to your pressure moment. Like, there's no real pressure because if you really truly accept what Allah got for you, then you just not worry no more. You're just like, all right, let me just do better. Let me try to do better. Other than that, that's it.
And it's doubling down on one thing that I've learned in the entrepreneurship journey is just asking Allah for guidance.
That's it.
I don't really know where I'm supposed to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what the next day, what comes on the next day. I don't know what phone call I might receive, an email I might receive. But if I'm like, Allah, what do you got for me? What we doing?
How about this? If Allah calls me back today, I'd be like, yo, I live a good life. I live a good life. Alhamdulillah, I live a good life.
I tried.
I tried.
That's the thing.
And that's it. It's cool. But for the most part, if Allah could take all of this away, because I wouldn't be the Muslim boxer if I didn't have a leg.
Right.
I wouldn't be the Muslim boxer if I had breathing problems. I wouldn't be the Muslim boxer if something happened where I got into an accident and now I'm a vegetable. I would be relevant 72 hours after that.
Right.
That'd be it. It'd be nothing else. It'd be like, oh yeah, remember the Muslim boxer? Right. That's about it. It'd be like, oh, yo, he was funny. Other than that, but now, if you really... He
used to do...
But guess what will stay with it? The Muslims, when you say, yo, yeah, Muhsin could recite. Right. Or Muhsin taught me this, so I'm going to teach my children this. And then when your children are like, yo, where you learn how to recite? I learned it from Muhsin. Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing
repetitive.
Where you really put the deen behind what you're doing. Yep. And that goes beyond, because even we were looking into our son, becoming a Hafidh, and it was just like, oh, let's call Muhsin and see maybe he could talk to Muhsin, because my son is just like, oh, he's cool and like
Yep.
you're relatable. So those are the inshallah the deeds that
Inshallah.
Sadaqah Jariyah that go on forever,
Yeah.
even in the grave.
I think that's another reason why I do it is because I don't want kids to look at like Islam is a dope religion.
It is.
But you can't be no boring old slouch talking about, yo, go read Quran. Nobody's going to relate to you. Everybody's going to be like, bro, like, yo, like, you're an old dude.
Right.
But if you're relatable, you doing cool things, and then on top of that, your religion is sound, now you like, yo, okay, I see what Muslims do, but I see what he doing over here. Like, he a good Muslim.
I could do it too.
I can do it too. So that's really another reason why it's like, man, like, I'm kind of adamant about always being 100% me all the time, like being Muslim, making sure that, I do the right things off camera, on camera, I'm always trying to be a better person. Because all of this, ain't none of this getting taken on the Day of Judgment. No. I ain't gonna be able to go to Allah like, oh, Allah, I got. I had over 200,000 followers on social media.
I stayed consistent on my reels.
I stayed consistent on my, and it was funny. Like,
right.
Like, come on, bro.
People, they got a lot of likes, a lot of comments.
Yeah, like, yo, you saw that comment? You saw that comment? He said I was his favorite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take none of that. But what I can take is, these brothers learn Quran from me, or this brother learned Qul Huwallahu Ahad.
Right.
Every time he prayed every day, he only recited that surah.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, those are the things like I can take to the grave with me.
Yeah. So what do you want your legacy to be in the Ummah?
I just wanted to tell people that I was unapologetically Black and Muslim.
Yeah.
Like I know for a long time I was kind of afraid to be like Muslim and be, you know what I mean? I can't help but to be Black, but like Muslim, like
I walk in the room and I'm Black.
Exactly, but I'm Black, but I can always act like I'm not. Nobody can know that I'm Muslim.
Right.
But I want to just, and for Lulu, I wanted to, especially for the younger generation, I want them to know, like, Muslim he was just Muslim. He did his thing, and he had fun.
Right.
He had fun.
He enjoyed life.
He traveled. He did this. He made jokes. He wasn't too serious, but he wasn't taking his religion for a joke.
Right.
He was just unapologetically him, and he made mistakes.
And learn from him.
And just kept moving on. And I want kids to know, like, it's okay. Like, you're gonna go through your hard times, but being Muslim is better than being anything else. Like, it's just, being a proud Muslim is just, it gets you through life.
Whew.
Get you through life.
Because life will
beat you up. Life will beat you up. Oh my God, life will beat you up. So when it comes to like, even when it comes to the hard times, like, when you like, you done hit that dead end and you're trying to figure out what's going on, most people be like, yo, I'm done.
Right.
But then when you got that like firm belief and firm trust in Allah, you're like, man, Allah gonna get me through this. Let me just take it day by day, make sure I keep my prayers on time, make sure I get my prayers in, and I'm gonna do my thing. Right.
What do you have? You got the fight on September 24th.
I got the fight on September 24th, Shabazz Brothers undercard. And
what else you got going on?
Shoot, I don't even know. I got we're trying to get a fight, hopefully, right after that in October and November.
Back to back.
I'm looking to go back to back, and I'm looking to be just get as many fights as I can and build my platform before this is over. Because you never know when the law gonna be like, all right. Yeah, all right.
Pull you back.
I'm gonna go ahead and snatch that. I mean, you can say, listen, the doctor today could be like, man, hey, listen, you got heart problems. You can't box no more. So after that, what am I gonna be? Because the boxing gonna be, I'm gonna be relevant in boxing if I retire in 3 years. I'm gonna be, no kids are gonna know me. So it's like, okay, so let me do as much as I can to make sure I can provide for my family and I can give a better life to Lulu. That's really it. That's
what it's about.
So the plan is, we got some things coming up. We got some hopefully some better platforms, being on bigger platforms for my boxing and for social media. But, you know, we got a lot of things coming up, so stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Me
this
too.
Is because this happened in like the last couple years. So
2 years.
You did a lot during this pandemonium.
Yeah, that pandemic was crazy, but yeah, I tried to keep working, and I think that's what keeps me motivated, is because I'm always thinking about what can I do better. So I never get bored, because I'm always like, okay, well, if the social media is boring and the boxing is boring, at least my Quran is still like, okay. Now that's one thing. Everybody pray for me, because I'm trying to get I never got my ijazah for my Quran, so I'm trying to go back and get that. I want to get that. That's one thing I pray to Allah, that I don't die like not being a true Hafidh, because I don't feel like I'm Hafidh anymore. I feel like I'm just, all right, yeah, he's Muslim, yeah, he memorized the Quran, but he's not like Hafidh. Hafidh is somebody who preserves the Quran,
right? And
I didn't preserve it.
Because like he is a Hafiz is like past tense.
Exactly, he was. And I feel as though, you know, I didn't put the time in like these real Hafidh did. So I want to make sure that hopefully before I die, I'm able to really be like, yo, he is a Hafidh.
Wow.
So that's the plan, inshallah.
Well, I appreciate it. This was great.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all. You know, shout out to the Ummah Shop. I'm wearing that hat right now. Y'all see that halal. You know,
the halal bucket hat.
I'm always able to come in here and just get any type of props that I need. Sheree would just be looking at me shaking her head, but you know, I really appreciate the love. And
we've been the backdrop of many of Muslim boxing skits, and you know, styled Muhsin for a lot of Muslim boxing skits as well.
Absolutely.
So you can shop the Ummah Shop in King of Prussia Mall. Shop online at theummahshop.com. I also have our Spread Love, It's the Muslim Way t-shirts. These are items for this podcast.
Y'all just gonna take biggies? Spread
why
love,
not?
It's the Muslim way.
Because why not? We spread love the most and the best.
The kunafa and the and the halal dates keep me busy.
Right. So you can grab your Spread Love, It's the Muslim Way t-shirts in store and online as well. Every week we will feature a product either in the store, or if you would like your product to be featured, send us a DM on Instagram. We also have more guests coming up and more information coming up about the Ummah. So signing off, my name is Sharima. Thank you guys for joining me.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.